airstrike indeed hit logistic base of the terrorists, which led to secondary explosions.
Lami airstrike, military clarifies on alleged misfire.
We are not aware of any foreign soldiers that are here in our Nigeria. So the soldiers that are living here is only the soldiers that we have here. Those are that are in Nigeria, living in Nigeria with us.
Unitide, President Tinubu receives guests on homage in Lagos. More sectoral highlights as 2024 winds down.
My focus is to steer the ship of the police ecosystem to embrace innovations and new ideas that enable the police to adapt to the ever-changing landscape.
A warm welcome to Network News on this last Friday in 2024. I am Lami Ali. Adiola Komeakere is the anchor in Lagos. Benny Adams has the business news, and Ayodeji Makinde will give us the updates on sports. So, Benny, tell us what is the trending news on the business bit.
Well, good news for Nigerians doing business with China, as Nigeria and China just reached a currency swap worth a whopping 3.3 trillion naira. More details will come during the bulletin.
All right, nta.ng/live is the online link to join the news on the go. You can also follow us on other social media handles of the NTA displayed on your screen for updates. We begin from Sokoto, where border communities in the state have refuted allegations made by the leader of the Niger Public Military Junta, General Chichani, that Nigeria is forging an alliance with France to establish military bases and sponsor terrorists to undermine stability and sovereignty of the country. Our correspondent, Abdullahi Umar Ilalu, sought the views of some border communities in Tangaza, Gudu, Ilela, and Gada State, and that report is being packaged. Now, the Nigerian military has clarified happenings surrounding the alleged misfire of two communities in Sokoto State, where an estimated 10 persons lost their lives. Defense correspondent Naja'atu Tijani brings us the details.
Director Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba said most of the casualties came as a result of secondary fire.
In Gidam Bisa and Gidam Rutua, in which we conducted airstrikes on the 25th of December. The operation, which should have taken place on an earlier date, had to be rescheduled to the 25th. It started with pre-operational intelligence, surveillance and recognition missions to confirm the terrorist activities within the general area. Having confirmed, aircraft were dispatched to conduct precision airstrikes on the identified hideouts at about 0600 hours on that day. The strike was executed with precision-guided munitions to minimize collateral damage. They had minor impact on the surrounding villages. The airstrike indeed hit logistic base of the terrorists, which led to secondary explosions, and it was these secondary explosions that led to some casualties that was earlier reported.
Nigeria is committed to the protection of its territorial integrity in respect for the sovereignty of neighboring countries. The Chief of Defence Staff, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, gave the indication during a luncheon with the troops of Operation Fansenyama at the 8th Division Nigerian Army, Sokoto.
The operational tour launched with the frontline troops by the Chief of Defence Staff, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, is to boost their morale, assess the security situation and challenges they are facing in the theatre of operation. The Chief of Defence Staff urged them to exhibit high sense of professionalism and patriotism in their conduct. General Musa called on communities to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to security operatives, as community cooperation is critical in ensuring national security. He advised communities to vacate areas where military operations are ongoing for their safety to enable security forces secure the areas. The defense chief took time to visit wounded soldiers and assured them of taking their full responsibilities.
We must all not allow anybody use our soil, and we will not allow any of our soil be used against any of our neighboring countries.
The general also visited his alma mater, where he inaugurated 36 classrooms and administrative block and donated books as part of his community service initiative and contributions to the development of education in Sokoto State. It was a nostalgic moment at the Guinea Memorial Stadium, Sokoto, as the general reconnected with his childhood friends with whom he played basketball from Sokoto. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA Network.
Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Lufemi Oluede, has again charged officers and men of the military to consolidate gains made in the fight against insurgents, intensifying clearance of remnants of the terrorists in the northeast theatre of operations. General Oluede gave the charge during a Christmas luncheon with frontline troops as the 27th Task Force Brigade in Bunigari of Yobe State. Adam Yusuf Ali reports.
Annual events meant to celebrate Christmas with frontline troops to motivate them and show genuine concern to their sacrifice in the ongoing war against insurgency in the nation. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluede, represented by Commander Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadenkai, Major General Marcel Ejike, pointed out that to consolidate the transformation of a well-motivated combat-ready force that can discharge its duty diligently within a joint and multi-agency environment requires quality leadership, as exhibited by the Army Chief. He sympathized and commended those who paid the supreme price while motivating men presently standing guard at the fire trenches to ensure a peace in Nigeria.
This kind of laudable gesture, which has been taken from the sterling leadership quality of the Chief of Army Staff, also aimed at motivating the troops as well, enhancing comradeship among personnel.
Let me use this opportunity to profoundly register the appreciation of the government and the good people of Yobe State for the immeasurable contributions of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in restoring peace and security across the state.
The peace and stability being enjoyed in Yobe State is as a result of the gallantry exhibited by the troops, even at the festive seasons. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has been receiving visitors on homage for the Unitide at his Lagos residence. The guests included governors of Plateau, Kebbi Mutfwang, and his Ogun State counterpart, Dapo Abiodun. The Plateau State governor, who briefed the president on security situation in his state, reported that there has been substantial improvement in the situation as the state government is deploying technology to check crimes and criminality in the state.
Well, with the support of Mr. President, I can assure you that we are not going to take our foot off the pedal. We are going to make sure that we cross the T's, dot the I's as far as security is concerned, and make sure that we make it more difficult for criminality to take place within our borders. And so what we are doing is to assure our people, give confidence to Nigerians, particularly those who want to come and invest in the plateau. I want to tell them that the climate is right, the environment is good, and I believe that 2025 will be a better year.
And President Bola Tinubu was a special guest today as he joined the congregation for Jummah prayer At the Lekki Central Mosque, Lagos, Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Femi Hamzat, and other high-ranking board members of the mosque received the president on arrival. The Imam, Dr. Jamil Ridwan, in his sermon, reminded the faithful of the transit journey through life and the need to live a meaningful life. He admonished the congregation to be conscious of their action, always seek God's guidance in their deeds, and use their existence for the betterment of humanity. The Imam enjoined leaders to always remember their responsibility to the citizens and accountability to the Almighty Allah. He prayed Allah for strength and wisdom for the president to succeed in his assignments of leading the nation to greater heights. You're watching News at 9 on NTA. We pause now to bring you some messages to stay.
FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
The Benue State Police Command has confirmed a recent attack on Anwasi community in Kwande local government area of the state. A statement by the police image maker SP Sewese Anene states that there were casualties while investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, Governor Hyacinth Alia has expressed deep sadness over the news of the unprovoked attacks on Anwasi community by unknown armed men, which left many injured. In a statement, the governor strongly condemns the attack on unarmed innocent citizens of the state, expressing worry that such heinous act has continued despite efforts of his administration to ensure safety of lives and property. The governor, however, reiterated his firm determination to continue to use lawful procedure to protect the people, security agents to improve their surveillance to ensure that vulnerable communities are protected, while condoling with the families that lost their loved ones in the attack as well as the injured. He assured people of the state that perpetrators of the dastardly act must be apprehended and made to face the full wrath of the law. In continuation of our sectoral review series, security correspondent Francis Fom reflects on the journey of the Police Affairs Ministry in the year 2024.
Focus is to steer the ship of the police ecosystem to embrace innovations and new ideas that enable the police to adapt to the ever-changing landscape.
Ministry of Police Affairs, the NAF Center of Internal Security Operations, expectedly came up with initiatives while ahead of the criminals in forestalling their activities. The establishment of National Criminal Data Fusion Center, strengthening the West African Police Information System, and the automation of police specialized services as groundbreaking achievements aimed at enhancing Nigeria's security infrastructure under the Tinubu's administration in 2024. Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, The man in charge of the ministry observes these initiatives are parts of the ministry's broader police reform and transformation roadmap.
The center will provide an avenue where relevant law enforcement agencies work together to pool criminal data, analyze and disseminate key criminal intelligence products to support internal security operations.
The of the Special Interventions Court, enhanced deployment of tactical units, construction of modern divisional police headquarters, and the recruitment of 30,000 police constables are major steps towards achieving sustainable security.
President Tinubu's plan to recruit 30,000 constables annually over the next 4 years is a transformative agenda aimed at increasing the police to citizen ratio in line with global standards. This ambitious target is designed to strengthen community policing, ensure quicker response times, and enhance intelligence-driven policing across the nation.
The total number of arrests in the year.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun at the Strategic Managers Conference in Abuja reveals that the successfully arrested 30,313 suspects for various offences and recovered 1,984 assorted firearms and 23,250 rounds of ammunition and rescued 1,581 kidnapped victims in 2024.
1,438 stolen vehicles.
Let them not lose hope. We take care of their welfare as and when due, and we send them to various forms of trainings in and outside of the country so that they should be able to perform better.
When the Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, visited the ministry for assessment of how the Tinubu's administration has fared in implementing key deliverables, she commended the ministry for resolving 100% of complaints through the Police Complaint Response Unit and breaking barriers to police recruitments.
We also encourage for citizen engagement. That citizen engagement is important because the president is keen for citizens to be aware of what his ministries are doing.
However, she urged the Nigeria police to address challenges in reclaiming communities from insurgents, build trust with locals, and ensure effective policing in vulnerable areas to ensure gains made in internal security. Francis from NTA News.
Border communities in Sokoto State have refuted allegations made by the leader of the Niger Republic military junta, General Tijani, that Nigeria is forging an alliance with France to establish military bases and sponsor terrorists to undermine stability and sovereignty of the country. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu sought views of people on development at some border local government areas of Tangaza, Gudu, Ilela and Gada in Sokoto State. Here is the report.
Sokoto State shares borders with the Niger Republic in several local government areas, including Tangaza, Gudu, Ilela and Gada. For years, border communities have lived peacefully with their neighbors from Niger Republic. However, allegations by General Chiani, leader of the military junta in Niger Republic, claiming that Nigeria hosts French soldiers has been described as untrue. This is the bustling cattle market at Ruawuri village in Tangaza local government area, located less than 40 kilometers from Niger Republic. As of our report, people from both countries were interacting and trading harmoniously. Market patrons unanimously contradicted General Chiani's claims, stating they have never seen foreign soldiers in their areas.
An ce akwai sojoji na Faransa, amma dai gaskiya mun ba mu gansu ba, amma sojoji namu da sun ce ma mun gansu hannan gaskiya motoci da yawa.
Ban taba gani ba, wani bai ce min ya gani ba, don kaga dutsen ga ƙasa garai bakin Niger na.
From Ruawuri village, we proceeded to Bale headquarters of Gudu local government area, where Nigerian soldiers are deployed to counter Lukurawa activities. Residents confirmed they have never seen foreign soldiers even in the deepest bush.
dangane da sojojin da a gare mu na Najeriya na ba mu da wasu baƙi waɗanda suka iso nan waɗanda ba mu san da su ba gaskiya ba mu gani ba kuma mu jiya ba kuma ba wanda zai faɗa muna. We are not aware of any foreign soldiers that are here in our Nigeria. So the soldiers that are living here is only the soldiers that we have in Nigeria. Those are that are in Nigeria, living in Nigeria with us.
At Ilela local government, which also shares a border with Niger Republic, locals described General Chiani's claims as unfortunate. Sultan Abba urged the Nigerian leader to retract his statement.
To wannan mun ji bakin ciki saboda tsakaninmu da su uwanmu ɗai ubanmu ɗai. Saboda in kaga mutunan Araba ko mutunan Kalmalo ko mutunan Ilela in bai da ɗan uwa Niger bai da gidan uba Niger ko shina da gidan uwa.
In Gada local government area, residents denied the existence of the Dajin Gaba forest, allegedly used as a base for French soldiers by the Nigerian government as claimed by General Chiani. Security analyst Associate Professor Mutala Ahmad Rufai of Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, also dismissed the allegations as unfounded and called for their withdrawal.
Well, what prompted the allegation is nothing other than Nigeria or ECOWAS is actually against the military rule. And then the military junta in Niger have actually come and they feel now what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying, he is saying the position and opinion of Nigeria and Nigerians. But the fact is that he is speaking on behalf of the ECOWAS and also on behalf of the good meaning Nigerians. So the fact of the matter is he is trying as much as possible to react, and in my own opinion the head of the military junta has actually overreacted and he has overstepped his own boundaries.
The border community's confirmation of no foreign soldier presence underscores the baseless and misleading nature of the allegations. From Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
Now, a combination of bottlenecks, including paucity of funds, stood on the way, slowing down pace of execution of road projects in the year under review. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, took some key but painful steps that have so far accelerated completion of many projects, giving way for the initiation of new ones. Abdullahi Mohammed brings us the details.
I do not accept this. This your tolling plaza roof is what you don't see this one in China. So why do you come to put this for us? Okay, under me, I will not accept things like this.
Superior supervision, expert approach in contract negotiations, as well as cancellations of non-performing road contracts, plus series of reviews are beginning to pay back.
The Honorable Minister, Dr. Umahi, was able to save Nigeria 640 billion naira.
With more than 1,600 inherited ongoing contracts and about 300 emergency interventions, key federal roads, you may begin to wonder how the funds will be found, but the Hope Movement has its plans of unlocking new sources.
The government has implemented the 50% direct deduction. Various federal government-owned enterprises, partially funded, self-funded, including the fully funded ones. So we expect an additional stream of revenue even beyond what was initially budgeted for this year.
And just before the critics ink their pens, non-performing contracts are being recharged.
Mr. President directed that we should come back to the route today, and that we should hand over the 3 sections to the 3 contractors to complete. And our target is from June to get the job completed about May 29th, 2025.
New deadlines are spelled out for the completion of the project. What the people expect is quality and timely delivery. The Minister assures. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
The year 2024 is eventful for the power sector in Nigeria, with gains and challenges as the country strives to achieve adequate electricity supply. In this report, Joshua Duty takes us through major events that shaped the sector in the year under review. Here is the report.
It's a mixed grill for the power sector in 2024 as the year looks brighter from the onset but beclouded with challenges as months roll by.
The Commission has approved a rate review of 225 naira per kilowatt hour for just under 15% of the customer population in NERSI.
From removal of subsidy on tariff for Band A customers to creation of electricity market by subnationals, the year raised prospects for the sector.
The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is determined to change the narratives in the power sector.
The Siemens project also got a boost with mobile substations and transformers delivered and installed across the country to increase transmission wheeling capacity as phase 2 of the project got approval of the Federal Executive Council.
The entire project scope is over 2,683 kilometers. Mr. President also has a very, very soft spot for the eastern part of Nigeria, and he believes that the industries there must be revived.
A test run on SCADA system was successfully carried out within the year, with the project nearing completion to mitigate frequent grid collapse. Also, for the first time since 2021, the peak generation surpassed 5,000 megawatts in 2024, which prompted federal government to push industry players to hit 6,000 megawatts before the end of the year. However, the 6,000 megawatts target was not achieved due to challenges of vandalism of transmission infrastructure, grid collapses with 12 incidents recorded in 2024, and inadequate gas supply to generation companies.
The debt to the gas company by the GENCOs, this needs to be interrogated.
Another major incident in 2024 was the vandalism of Shiroro Mando and Apir Makudi transmission lines that cut off supply from the national grid to northern parts of the country for 10 days. On the renewable energy subsector, more communities were connected with solar home systems, with 2 additional interventions launched by the Rural Electrification Agency to upscale access to electricity in rural communities.
Transmission electricity market entails that we'll do more of off-grid. The federal government should de-escalate investments that everybody is trying to take money from the market operators, embed and what have you. Off-grid is the way to go because it will endure competition.
Though it's a turbulent year for the power sector, industry players seem not deterred to deliver available electricity to end users in the new year. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Adela is standing by with more reports in our Lagos Network studio. It's over to you, Diola.
Thank you so much, Lami. Compliments of the season. As the world continues to grapple with public health challenges, the International Day of Epidemic Preparedness helps in fostering global awareness and readiness against epidemic threats. Awal Yusuf Jibo in this report explores the significance of this United Nations proclaimed observance marked yearly on December 27 and its impact on health security.
Epidemics and pandemics are on the list of threats to global health, well-being, security, and economy of nations worldwide. Ebola outbreak and the COVID-19 pandemic have claimed lives, crippled economies, and overwhelmed nations. Creating awareness and strengthening epidemic preparedness is imperative, particularly as COVID-19 exposed vulnerabilities in health systems in both rich and poor nations.
Many health systems, particularly in low and middle income countries like Nigeria, lack the capacity to manage routine healthcare needs, to let alone epidemic surges. Hospitals are often understaffed, under-equipped, and inaccessible, particularly to the rural population.
Following our experiences and impact of epidemics and pandemics, a day was set aside in year 2020 by the United Nations to emphasize the need for nations to work together to strengthen healthcare infrastructure, develop early warning systems, and invest in scientific research.
You would want to make a report and write a report of everything that has transpired in the whole outbreak investigation. After you have done that, you submit your report which would be used to make policies and prevent the kind of outbreak from occurring again, especially in that particular society.
As the world reflects on the lessons learned from past outbreaks, the International Day of Epidemic Preparedness serves as a timely reminder of the collective responsibility needed to combat future epidemics. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
The Nigeria Customs Service says it has made notable progress in curbing its cross-border trade with its Operation Swift Sting. In year 2024 alone, 707 seizures have been recorded, while items confiscated include cannabis sativa, bags of foreign rice, and premium motor spirit PMS. Awal Yusuf Jibo again has more on this.
The duty-paid value of the 707 seizures from January 2024 to date is 18.7 billion naira, alongside 94 arrests and 6 convictions. Customs Area Controller, Federal Operations Unit Zone A, Kola Oladeji, describes this as a testament to the service's commitment to ending illicit trade.
Prominent among the seizures are 1. 48,012 bags of foreign parboiled rice of 50 kg, 181,075 liters of premium motor spirit PMS, 721 kg of cannabis sativa, 6,168 pieces of dry donkey skins.
Oladeji emphasized that smuggling operations that employ ingenious concealment methods could have significant impact on the nation's economy and security if not checked with modern intelligence tools.
We collected revenue through careful documentary checks and issuance of demand notices to consignment that were found to have underpaid custom duty.
A suspect arrested in the latest operations highlights challenges faced by customs officials. While criminals continue to plot their schemes, the Nigerian Customs Service says it remains resolute in protecting the nation's borders, economy, security, and health through coordinated synergy with relevant agencies and stakeholders. Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
And those are reports from Lagos. More news reports will be right back after the break.
As this year draws to a close, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for your...
Join the cleaner energy revolution. Choose LPG for cooking and CNG for your vehicles. Clean energy for brighter future. This message is brought to you by the Office of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, supported by the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA.
That underscores the deepening financial and economic cooperation between its nations.
Central Bank of Nigeria and the People's Bank of China announced the renewal of the arrangement today with the agreement amounting to 3.28 trillion naira, equivalent to approximately 15 billion yuan, or if it is converted in dollars, $2.09 billion. The currency swap agreement, which is valid for a period of 3 years, retains the option for further renewal based on mutual consent between the two central banks. According to the People's Bank of China, the currency swap provides businesses in both countries with greater ease of access to local currencies, thereby reducing transaction costs, streamlining trade processes, and reducing dependency on third-party currencies like the US dollar. Now it is the last Friday of the year 2024, and the Nigeria equities market actually concluded transactions the Christmas week on a bearish note, reversing positive momentum witnessed pre-Christmas holiday due to sell-off in some stocks. And looking at the numbers, we have 451.7 million deals exchanging hands, talking about stocks exchanging hands with investors, and settling at 12,551 deals valued at 17.4 billion naira. Equity capitalization is still moving up, advancing to 61.9 trillion naira, bringing our all-share index to 102,133.3 basis points. And looking at the trades, the banking stocks are UBA tops with 41.7 million, Access Co 35.4 million, while the Zenith Bank is 33.2 million, which is to say the banking stocks are actually doing very, very well end of the year. And compared with the previous market day, today's data shows 12% improvement in volume, 112% improvement in turnover, and 50% improvement in deals. And on the aggregate, we had 127 companies participating in trading, ending with 45 gainers and 18 losers. Well, this is it on business. It's over to you, Lami.
Thank you, Benny. Now, Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has pledged to ensure that public funds are judiciously utilized for the benefits of the people. He made the commitments while assenting to the Kebbi State 2025 budget. Correspondent Muhammad Bawa reports.
Of the 2025 budget by Governor Nasir Idris was preceded by a thorough scrutiny of the proposed budget by the Kebbi State House of Assembly.
Excellency, we promise to expedite the consideration of the budget after presentation.
Governor Nasir Idris commended the Assembly for the speedy consideration of the bill and reiterated his administration's commitment to utilizing the budgeted funds for infrastructural and human development in the state.
This 2025 budget, you see what we do, we make sure that we translate it to the grassroots, so that the grassroots will also feel the impact of this budget and this administration.
The Kebbi State 2025 budget, totaling over 580 billion naira, has been tagged the budget of economic and infrastructural development. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
Yobe State Governor Mai Malabuni has launched the disbursement of 50 million naira cash grants and distribution of startup kits to 500 beneficiaries trained by the State Emergency Management Agency in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program. The beneficiaries received months of training in production of household products such as soaps, detergents, disinfectants, and charcoal briquettes using local materials. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
Empowering people, particularly women, is an agenda and priority of Yobe State government under its post-insurgency recovery drive to build resilience of IDPs and returnees in communities for self-reliance.
The 500 beneficiaries who are trained in the production of soaps, detergents, charcoal, shoes, disinfectants, mark a significant milestone in our administration commitment to our recovery program by rebuilding livelihoods, strengthening economic resilience, and fostering stability for a brighter future of these communities.
This set of 500 beneficiaries is another phase of beneficiaries who have gained the ability to create products that are not only valuable in the local markets, but also to contribute their personal financial independence.
We have created over 2,500 across 40 schools, figure, we are that the power of service sufficient people in Europe is indeed becoming a reality. Your Excellency, permit me to welcome all our beneficiaries as we present the Bonibus products. These products are produced locally with local materials.
It is believed that with such interventions, government will reduce the level of idleness among the youth and enhance their capacity to be productive members of the society. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Sokoto State government has scaled up school enrollment drive to tackle the menace of out-of-school children. Asma'u Habib Shagari reports that the initiative is in line with Governor Ahmed Ali's 9-point smart agenda in the education sector.
This are the children being registered by Governor Ahmad Aliyu and the Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar in the school enrollment drive campaign for 2024-2025 academic session in Dengue Town. This annual campaign seeks to enlighten stakeholders on the importance of enrolling school-age children, promoting a more inclusive and supportive learning environment, especially in educationally backward states. Governor Aliyu highlighted his administration's achievements in the education sector, stating that the ceremony demonstrates his administration's commitment to ensuring that children in the state are enrolled regardless of location.
We have introduced monthly interest of 200,000 naira to all secondary schools for minorities and maintenance of basic facilities in the state.
To improve enrollment, Commissioner of Basic and Secondary Education Muhammad Tukur Al-Kali and Chairman State Universal Basic Education Board Umaru Nagwari Tambuwal indicate that plans are underway to establish state school-based management committee members, enhance supervision and engage women in advocacy. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar commended the efforts of Governor Ahmad Aliyu in the education sector, urging parents to enroll their children. He added that the Sultanate Council will collaborate with the government and other stakeholders to explore the possibility of enforcing school enrollment. From Sokoto, Asma'u Habibu Shagari, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu congratulates Dr. Yusuf Sununu, Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, on receiving the esteemed traditional title of Madami Yawuri from the Emir of Yawuri, Dr. Muhammad Zayyano Abdullahi in Kebbi State. The President extended warm wishes to Dr. Sununu, his family and the Yawuri Emirate, as well as friends and well-wishers attending the turbaning ceremony on December 28. Dr. Sununu is a distinguished obstetrician and gynecologist, previously served as a member of the House of Representatives representing Yawuri. President Tinubu expresses confidence that this recognition will inspire Dr. Sununu to continue his exceptional work. He wishes all those attending the ceremony a joyous and seamless celebration. More messages now on the news, and more stories will come your way after the break. Thank you for saying. Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko says the government will submit legislation to repeal a law by former President Macky Sall granting amnesty for deadly political violence in the country, and South Korean lawmakers impeach acting President Han Duck-soo. Details of this and more with Frama Pangi.
The controversial amnesty was granted just before March 2024 elections as Sall sought to calm protests sparked by his last-minute postponement of presidential elections in the traditionally stable West African country. In a policy speech before lawmakers, Sonko said, in addition to putting compensation for victims into the budget, a draft law will be submitted to your August Assembly to repeal the March 6, 2024 amnesty so that light may be shed and responsibilities determined on whatever side they may lie. Sonko told the lawmakers that it's not a witch hunt and even less vengeance. It's justice, the foundation without which social peace cannot be built. In other news, Duck-soo, who took over as acting president, Sukyo, who was suspended following a parliamentary vote over his move to impose martial law on December 3rd, has been impeached. However, opposition MPs demanded Han, who is also prime minister, be removed from office as well, arguing that he had refused demands to complete Yoon's impeachment process and bring him to justice. Counting impeachment was delayed as ruling party protested after Wu said only a simple majority was needed in the 300-member parliament to proceed with the impeachment. Frama Panyi, NTA News.
Ayodeji Makinde is on the sports segments. It's over to you, Ayo.
Thanks, Lami. I will begin with football, where Nigeria is poised to qualify for the 8th Championship of African Nations coming up in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda as the Super Eagles conclude preparations ahead of the last qualifier against the Galaxies of Ghana at Fabio International Stadium in Uyo. All invited players in camp are aware the threats from their West African neighbors who altered their qualifications for the 2009 and 2023 finals in Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria. Nigeria coach Daniel Ogumodede believes the match will rekindle the age-long rivalry between the senior home-based professionals of both countries.
This team, the Ghana team, couldn't defeat us on their home ground, and we're coming back to our home ground with maximum confidence to be able to play our style, what we need to do, maybe that we would have done in Ghana. So it gives us a lot of confidence. For us, it's not deceptive for us.
Now, in the meantime, Niger Republic reached the finals of the Championship of African Nations next year after they edged out away goal rule following a goalless draw at March 26 Stadium in Bamako earlier this evening. In other matches of the final qualifying round to be decided on Saturday, Chipolo Polo of Zambia take on Mozambique. Burkina Faso are up against Cote d'Ivoire. Palancas Negras of Angola host Lesotho, while Senegal and Liberia square off for a spot at the championship from February 1 to 28 in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Remember, the tournament is for footballers plying their trades in their respective national leagues. Let's also tell you that in the English Premier League, Kai Havertz has given Arsenal the lead, and they currently lead by a lone goal. A few minutes to the end of the first 45 minutes, it's Arsenal 1, Ipswich 0. And that's your sports. It's back to Lami.
Many thanks, Ayo. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu condoles the government and people of India on the passing of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. President Tinubu's tribute to Dr. Singh applauds the Nigeria-India relationship, noting that his diplomatic efforts remain a reference point in the history of the bilateral relations between the two nations. President Tinubu further lauds the late Prime Minister Singh's efforts to improve cooperation in defense, trade, culture, education, health, science and technology, and ICT. Expressing gratitude to the people of India for celebrating the life and accomplishments of the selfless leader and distinguished economist, the Nigerian leader salutes Singh's role in steering India's economic reforms during global challenging times. He praised that the departed Prime Minister's dedication to service will inspire the people of India. Now, former President Muhammadu Buhari has offered heartfelt condolences to Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi following the tragic loss of his mother and son within a span of 20 hours. Buhari acknowledges the painful and terrifying nature of the double tragedy, but urged the governor to accept it as the will of Allah, who gives and takes away life. In a telephone call, Buhari expressed his sympathy, stating that anyone who believes in humanity would be deeply touched by the governor's loss. He encourages Governor Namadi to transform this challenging moment into an opportunity to strengthen his faith in Allah and rededicate his life to serving his people. Buhari's condolence message extended to the governor's family, friends, and the entire people of Jigawa State expresses his deepest sympathy during this difficult time. And that's it on the news this Friday. We thank you for watching. Do have a peaceful last weekend of 2024. Compliments of the season.